everyone, I'm Briana Beverly, and today I'm joined by boxer Frank Martin. What inspired you to get a career in boxing?
I feel like I just was always a fighter, and it was something that I wanted to do like as a kid. But when I was younger, my mom she wouldn't let me. So when I turned 18, I was the age I just kind of signed up on my own.
Have you ever helped your own community at some point, like maybe charities, or I know you're kind of a big thing right now in probably your city. So what exactly do you use that basically that advantage to?
Yeah, so I threw a camp like maybe last year. It was called Champs Camp, and it was something that I was gonna kind of go with basically like every year. It was something that I bring the kids in and kind of just teach them some things, have sit them down, talk to them, and just kind of help them and give them guidance on certain situations.
So positive on just anything that has to do with education. And I know you as a boxer, you have a big influence. How are you helping the younger, I guess your audience, the younger audience, kind of to stay in school focused, but also prepare themselves if they want to be like you someday, some point in their life?
Well, what I would say, like far as helping people, it's a lot of people who like reach out to me and just ask advice, on boxing. And I give them the best advice that I can. It's like educational wise, it don't be like as educational, but it's always about boxing. But like for people educational wise, I would say basically, like with boxing, it's one of those things. Like if you want to get good at it and get to the top of the sport, like you gotta just kind of put in a lot of work. You got to be super dedicated to it. And I would say, like for anybody and whatever they do, just be dedicated and give your all to it. And a lot of things take patience and time, so it's just all about just being patient and just like working day in and day out. You're gonna have your ups, you're gonna have your downs, but just always work hard. I would just say, just keep your eyes on the prize.
Absolutely. So what was your process from the beginning to now in boxing?
Well, from the beginning, it was kind of hard because I had like managers and things like that, promoters trying to sign me. But at that time, I was honestly trying to like learn the business side of the boxing because I was like the first person in my family that ever fought. So I kind of wanted to learn before I like got in a contract and didn't understand certain things. So I
Right.
kind of like went the harder path. I started off like in armories, selling tickets and stuff like that to like make the money. I would have to pay my opponents, have to pay the promoter, and then I would get my cut out of out of the ticket sales as well. But it was kind of like a three-way split. So in the beginning of my career, it was kind of it was
Right.
I was just kind of working myself up and things like that. So it was like the harder way, but I learned a lot on the way. So once I got where I'm at now, I understood a lot more. Now I don't gotta sell a ticket. I just gotta go in and fight. And that's I worked my way to that. And in the beginning, it wasn't easy.
When have you been your happiest? Like, let's just say in
Mm,
your whole career.
my whole career,
Mhm.
I would say every time I fight, like every time I'm in the ring and I fight, I would say that like that's when I'm like I'm lit up inside. Like I got this light that just light up. I don't know why.
What is your greatest fear so far? Have you ever had a point in time with boxing, especially being in the ring where you thought, "Oh man, like this is crazy. Like this is over the top for me." Have you ever had like a fear like that?
I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say I had a fear. Um, because I feel like I put in a lot of work in the gym, so I kind of prepare myself for anything. So I feel like I'm always ready for the worst. Like if it is something, I feel like I pretty much prep myself good. So if it is a tough time, I feel like I'll be able to pull through.
What is a motto you live by or motto?
I'm very determined. Like I'm a determined person. So like if it's something that I want, if it's to accomplish something, if it's something I want to get or whatever, I got a determined mentality. Like I'm a work, 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 and I'm gonna get whatever I want. Like if I just work for it. But I'm always willing to put in the work. So just me being determined, I would say like that's something that I live by, just being a determined person.
As someone who does like boxing, for example, do you feel in some sense where it's like at some point you were like, college was something I wanted to do as well, just kind of like a backup?
Yeah, so I played football and wrestle in high school, and it was something that I would have done. Like I would have probably tried to take like business management or something like that. It was something that I was interested in, but I feel like it was more like if I would have went for football, or wrestling, I would have tried to get into that. But like I would say that I'm like I understand what my key is, and I feel my key to like open up other doors. I feel like I'm an athlete, and the key, this was my key, being an athlete and utilizing like whatever it was, if it was wrestling, football, boxing. I would say that boxing was it, and that's my key to open up other doors.
Right.
So I had got into a little trouble, and I kind of lost the scholarships and stuff that I had. So it was just like when I lost everything, I'm like, what am I gonna do next? So
Right.
boxing was something that I knew, like, if I gave my all to it, I knew that I could make something out of it.
Last question. What advice would you give to people watching you? Like if there was an audience watching you, let's just say, for example, younger audience, what is some advice you would give to them, that you would have given yourself 5 years ago or 6 years ago?
Okay, I would say understanding understanding lanes, and what I mean by that, understand, okay, so if you want to go to school for being a doctor, actually understanding that lane fully. If it's a athlete, understanding the lane fully, like actually like knowing exactly like what it is and everything about it, like just putting your all into it, your time, studying. It's basically, just giving your all to your craft. Don't put too much weight on yourself, and just just give your all in whatever it is that you want to do.